over this summer drought. Baseball just don't get it done for you, boy. Soccer definitely didn't get it done for me. I need some full contact. Notre Dame, team of the day. Notre Dame Fighting Irish come into the season off one of the biggest controversies in the 12-team playoff era. After losing the head-to-head with Miami early last season and getting passed up by Miami for the last playoff spot, Notre Dame was clearly ahead of Miami in the polls until the last week of the regular season and playing better football. I had very high hopes for Notre Dame. Oh, knew it was coming. I had very high hopes for Notre Dame this season, even though they have a really easy schedule. The schedule leaves them in a spot where they can come into the playoffs with continuity, health, and full of confidence. After a great year from quarterback C.J. Carr, leading Irish to 10 wins and 2 losses, Carr is back with expectations of playing in the postseason. Last season, he threw for 2,741 yards on 67% completion percentage, with 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and added 3 rushing touchdowns. Behind Carr are a pair of true freshmen and Noah Grubbs and Teddy Gerard. They will battle for the backup job. If Carr can stay healthy with the experience he now has, Notre Dame could very well see themselves back to the national championship. Trying to fix my setup here for you real quick. Anywho, the running back room took a huge hit to the NFL draft, sending both Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price to the league. There's no doubt this running back room is going to be a little worse by default, sending 2 guys like that to the league. They're still really talented, being led by Aeneas Williams, who had 224 rushing yards last season, with 9.31 yards per carry on just 24 carries and punched in 5 touchdowns. This is clearly the guy for the Irish. Behind Williams is Kedron Young, a short yardage that should work nicely in the 1-2 punch roll. The wide receiver rooms look strong again for a Notre Dame offense, returning Jaden Greathouse, who was only able to play in 4 games last season due to injury, but tallied 4 receptions for 73 yards on 18.3 yards per catch. Looking back to 2024, where he played the full season, he hauled in 42 catches for 592 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jordan Faison also returns 640 yards on 13.1 yards per catch and 4 touchdowns. Notre Dame also brings in Quincy Porter from Ohio State. This room is going to be solid, especially with talented quarterbacks like Carr. All right, I'm having technical difficulties here. Just a second. All right. This offensive line is stacked again this season. They lose Wagner and Shrouth, but return 4 starters and 64 career starts from an offensive line that rushed for 203 yards per game on 5.7 yards per carry and allowed just 12 sacks. Freeman has an O-line again, and they are Phil Steele's #1 rated O-line in the country. Before I get started on this defense, just know this is a Notre Dame team that consistently has great defense, and this might be the best defense under Marcus Freeman yet. This is the best defense in the country. If not, it's definitely top 2, with Oklahoma having something to say about that. Defensive line gets a new D-line coach, Charlie Partridge, who's ready to prove he belongs and has plenty of talent to do so. Last season, they allowed 99 rush yards per game on 3 yards per rush and had 30 sacks. This year, they lose 6 defensive linemen, but return Traore and Onye and bring in 3 transfers from Pitt, Oregon, and Alabama. This is Phil Steele's #5 defensive line in the country. Linebacker last season held teams to 91 yards per game below their average. This year, they lose 1 of their top 6 and return the other 5. This is the #1 linebacking unit in the country. A lot of the same thing at defensive back. Coach Freeman says this is the deepest secondary he's ever fielded. They lose 1 of their top 8 and return the other 7. This is the #1 defensive back room in the country. Notre Dame has a pretty easy schedule again this season, but I think there's enough tough games on the schedule to see what this team is made of. before the postseason, with games at BYU in week 7, hosting Miami week 10, as well as hosting SMU week 12. This team could easily sweep the schedule and be healthy going into the 12-team playoff. You can usually expect them to lose one game, but after the season they just had, I think they run the schedule and go undefeated. Defense wins championships. The two bets I have: Notre Dame week 1 minus 20.5 points versus Wisconsin at Lambeau Field. I love the fact that this is under 3 touchdowns. And if we get the Notre Dame team I expect to get, I think this is probably a blowout. And then Notre Dame's the second favorite to win the championship at plus 650. I think it's worth having some money out there as the price is going to drop dramatically as they keep winning. 1 unit on the championship plus 650. That's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys for having me. Everybody hit the like button. Retweet the show. College football right around the corner. I'm out of here.